Today we're going to make over this $5 find. Make over the wood, cut some strings, and give it a new look with paint instead of upholstery.
All right, so you could take scissors and just trim all these edges off, but I like to just use a straight edge because it gets right up against that trim.
That's next level. I was just going to use scissors, but Zeb knows best.
That way we don't damage the trim when we're doing it.
So a few things about painting fabric. There's a technique, and we'll drop a link below, that Debbie did where she essentially dyed the fabric with the paint, but you can only do that if you're going from a light to a darker color or a similar shade. But in this case, when you're going from dark to light, you can't dye the fabric white. Like, that's not going to happen. So we are just going to be painting on the fabric, and then when it's painted, we're going to sand it to kind of bring back some of that texture. And so it'll never have the same feeling that it does now, but we'll make it look good and it won't be like super crunchy and scratchy. We're using DIY White Swan. My brush is slightly damp, so I'll have to do a few coats. That does help. You can also use a squirt bottle, but I'm not like working it in. I'm letting it sit on top of the fabric. It'll take at least 2 to 3 coats to get full coverage.
We're trying to not get it on the wood, but I think we're going to have to come back and clean that up.
Just be careful. The wood is shiny, so we should be able to wipe it off, and we are going to white wax it, so that'll hide some of it.
Paint pose on the counter.
I know, I'm painting on the counter, but this is, sometimes you got to get on your workspace. So this is one coat. We're going to put it out in the sun to dry because we want this to be really, really dry before we come back with the second coat. And like I said, you can expect 2 to 3 coats, and it really is going to depend on your fabric. Not every fabric accepts it the same. So
I actually really like it with this just plain old washed look.
We're going more coats.
Okay.
Zeb keeps pushing the denim. I promise you it'll be good.
Like, can we just make it look like washed out denim?
Maybe next time. I bought this chair.
All right.
So this is what it looks like after one coat. Admittedly, it is still a little bit crunchy, but once we get the second and possibly third coat, I haven't decided, we will sand it, and that will bring out some of the texture and a little bit of the dark color underneath, but that will also smooth it out. And this fabric wasn't really soft anyways. If this was like velvet, it would get like rock hard because the paint gets in all the nap, but this doesn't have very much nap. You know, it's funny, I'm usually the messy one, but I think you win today.
I was trying to be neat and it just wasn't happening to get over the roll on this trim. And I was like, you know what? Clean up later. It's like when you take a razor blade to the mirror after you're done painting the mirror. Same concept.
Well, and if we weren't white waxing, it'd be more.
Yeah. I think it's going to give it a really cool whitewashed look when we wax it.
I don't really want to use these ones because it's like going the opposite direction.
Okay.
So I think
these are going up though.
I think actually if we go this way, like this part of the design, what do you think?
But you're not over.
Not as many stems.
So you got to go to right there to be on the fabric.
I think that'll work.
I think it'll work.
So I've not done this before. You get to watch me do it the first time. I didn't even practice, but I have seen Mary LaFay from Vintage Retail Therapy do this technique, and I'm going to try it. We're going to do decoupage on fabric, and we're just going to use an artist brush to cut the paper. We're going to be using this JRV Decoupage paper, and I'm just going to cut this with water and go along the edge. At least that's what Mara does. Let's see. That's working. All right, I'm going to let Zeb do it because I feel like you're at a better angle.
I thought you were doing great.
I started doing it and I got nervous. It's a good thing that we're going to distress this. Maybe we needed a smaller brush.
No, I think it's working. Just keep tearing.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a little organic.
I'm going to go with that. So if you wanted a more crisp edge, you could just put it down in there and lightly trace it with a pencil and cut it out. But we were going for kind of a torn, aged look. Oh mama, because it's kind of wet. I'm using DIY liquid patina, and your decoupage medium does matter. I promise you. You want to use the good stuff. So I'm going to come in and do a thin coat, and then we can always add more if we need to. But I'm thinking we kind of got to work fast because you don't want it to dry. So can you put that down as I brush this? Because usually you do this on like a smaller scale.
I think it'll be okay.
Think it'll be okay?
Yeah, just get the whole thing quick.
Uh-huh.
We're committed.
It might wrinkle a little bit, but it should dry out, and then we're gonna sand it before we put our final coat on. Okay, I'm doing a thinner coat of patina on this layer, and then when it's dry, I will come back with a thicker coat.
I'm just going around making sure all the edges are nice and tight and down in the crack.
Yeah, you don't want any of the edges to pop up.
So this is just an old worn out sanding block. This is new 220 that I use on my orbital, but I don't want to use the orbital. I'm just gonna sand this just to kind of knock off the high spots. This is dried out, so it should powder up a little bit and just get soft so that it's not crunchy. That's the goal here. And it looks like we are gonna get some fuzzies come through, but the texture right here where I haven't sanded, really rough, this is actually really nice and smooth to the touch, and not that much paint is coming off. All right, this is the coolest part. I've got a brand new piece of 220 because I don't want the white to transfer over onto this, and I'm just gonna go really light because it does move a little with the fabric, and I don't wanna like tear it. I just wanna kind of give it a cohesive, like it's been on there a while look. So you can see here where the fabric texture is coming through. I'll do this one so you can see it.
Also, if there's any like bumps or anything, we didn't really get a ton of ripples, but if there are ripples, it kind of just brushes over the ripples and smooths them out. So we're using DIY liquid patina again. Now that we've already got the first coat dry, we can go on a little bit thicker, and we'll probably do about 3 coats total because we really want it to be durable and dry well, so that way it can hold up to being wiped down.
All right, this is just DIY clear wax. We're gonna just go over the top of this, give it a little bit of durability so that that paint doesn't come off on your clothes when you sit on it. It's gonna take a little while for this to cure. About 30 days in some climates. If it's real dry and not very humid where you're at, it might be less, but I would give it a little bit just to be safe. I mean, we just painted this and then made the paint get powdery on fabric, so give it some time.
You're gonna wanna do 2 to 3 coats of the DIY wax, and then you're gonna wanna buff it once it cures and it's nice and dry. If you wanna use liquid patina, you can. You'll get a little bit different finish. It'll be a little bit shiny. Just make sure that you let it dry all the way and do a light sanding in the end.
All right, now we're coming in with DIY white wax, just right here along the wood. It's gonna hide any blemishes. There were a few scratches and scrapes on this, and it's also gonna help blend where we weren't super neat with our paint job. That's by design a little bit. We knew we were gonna do this, so we didn't worry about it too much. You could, if you were real worried about it, or it had a really good stain job that didn't have damage, you could very easily tape this off and skip this step, because these legs are fairly sealed, but we're going for the look that the white wax gives.
So I'm just rubbing it back, making sure there's no brush strokes and bringing out some of the warm tones of the wood. This gives it kind of like a restoration, French country, old world feel.
So this blue chair is now an amazing white chair.
It was gray. I promise you it was like a dark gunmetal gray. I really love how this chair turned out. If you want to purchase the products used today, you can go to JamiRayVintage.com. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY